Colonel. I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
You was at the club, bottoms up when I first met you.
A year ago, I picked up Metal Gear Solid for the first time and completely played through it on original hardware. And if you've seen my most recent video, you would know that I just picked up a PlayStation Classic. I felt like this would be a perfect time to revisit the game, see if my year-old opinions still hold up, and how it plays today.
I'm not crying.
When you first start the game up, you're sneaking onto this military base of operations. The game eases you into this cinematic sequence, showing you different camera angles and guards patrolling the area. You don't really know too much of what you're in for, but as you make your way up, you start interacting with the other characters, your teammates in the game, and you start to kind of uncover more and more about it. Metal Gear Solid is this kind of serious, kind of goofy, stealth action oriented cinematic game, but the thing that sets this game apart from any other PlayStation title, what essentially makes this a timeless experience no matter when you play it, is how well executed of a cinematic experience this is.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
This game is a prime example of why good game design will always beat out graphical fidelity and stand the test of time. Why do you go back to an old movie? Do you go back to it because it's visually appealing, because you have fond memories of it, or just because it was overall a well-produced, entertaining movie? Like your old-ass grandfather, this is going to be you when you're 40. The gameplay is very simple. It's very easy to operate with a controller. When I originally played this, I wasn't even using the analog sticks because I didn't even realize that this had came out at a time when people weren't even utilizing analog sticks. It has its quirks, but it plays fairly good with an original controller. At a time where every developer was trying to figure out what the hell this new 3D space was, what to do with 3D game, this game executed it very well, showing off different camera angles, making the main gameplay easy to navigate, but yet still giving you these cinematic angles that made you excited to explore the world and see it from different perspectives, like being able to walk up to different levels of verticality and look around in first-person mode. For example, you're going to be in this room heading to your first boss battle, and you're going to have to find some C4, destroy a wall, and get into a hidden area. But not only are you going to have to find some C4 and blow this wall up, you're going to have to knock on the walls and physically listen out for the audible noise. Does that make sense? Physical, audible. You're going to have to make your character physically knock on the walls and listen out for the audible sound to tell you this is the wall you need to destroy. And when you get into the boss battle, it's not just pattern memorization and chasing the guy down and shoot him. You're going to have to avoid shooting or even breathing on these tripwires that are going to blow the guy up you're trying to save, who's either really in pain or really aroused over this. This game does a very good job of breaking the fourth wall, better than me breaking my mom's hope of me actually doing anything with my life, and actually takes that fourth wall breaking and ties it into the gameplay elements. Like you're going to have to reach out to one of these characters you met in the game through radio frequency.
If she still has it, you should be able to contact her.
I'm sure she still has it. What frequency was she at?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, it's... Oh, sorry, I forgot.
But the only way to do that is to find the radio frequency on the back of the CD case. Lucky for you, if you're on a PlayStation Classic and you want to pretend like you're still in the 90s, you can look on the back of the box and the radio frequency is still there. They actually gave you the tools you needed to fully complete this game on the PlayStation Classic. How nice of them. But yeah, there's no bouncing around the fact that these visuals are obviously pretty damn dated. Impressive for what they were at the time. Somebody's gonna walk in on you while you're playing this and ask you why you're still playing this old ass game. But if you take any gameplay, any cutscene, any codec sequence, and replace it with some other type of video or pictures, you're going to immediately be kind of shocked at how damn good the voice acting is in this game.
Listen, Meryl, everybody feels sick the first time they kill someone. Unfortunately, killing is one of those things that gets easier the more you do it. In a war, all of mankind's worst emotions, worst traits come out. It's easy to forget what a sin is in the middle of a battlefield.
Whenever I had finally beat one of the bosses that, oh, by the way, this game is extremely challenging. It doesn't hold your hand when it comes down to the difficulty curve. It felt very rewarding because regardless of the fact that you couldn't really make out what the fucking pixels looked like on the guy's face, you felt the emotion through how they talked and presented themselves and how they introduced themselves as a character. And the same can be said through these long codec sequences. I kind of thought that this was going to be a long boring game, but it's not, because you feel very involved with these characters that you can talk to at any time while you're traversing the level. And they work pretty dynamically depending on where you're at in the game, which is kind of mind-boggling considering how old this game is. For instance, if you try to save your game before a boss battle, it kind of goes like normal. She talks to you, gives you a quote or a word of advice while saving your game.
You're watching everything?
Of course. If you were my boyfriend, you'd never be able to cheat on me.
But if you're trying to save in the middle of a boss battle, she'll act very worried and very frantic about it.
Are you hurt, Snake?
Win, Snake, win!
This game has layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of depth. But the presentation is so well done, it just makes an embarrassment of games that came out decades later. The dialogue is quirky, funny, but it's also serious and heartfelt. If you haven't experienced Metal Gear Solid and decided to really play through it at any time, I recommend you take a few hours out of your day, dim the lights, pop some popcorn, and just engulf yourself in the story. Don't try to memorize every small detail because it's very fucking convoluted. Hideo Kojima is kind of ridiculous when it comes to the actual storytelling. You're not going to be able to keep up with it. I'm on the third game and I still don't really understand. All you really need to know is you're playing as a guy named Snakey Boy and you're trying to take down the bad guys that are trying to use a meg to kill a lot of people that shouldn't be killed. Just remember that and you're good. Oh, by the way, this game has multiple endings. Yeah, I didn't realize that until I actually screwed up in a crucial part in the game. Yeah, this decade-old game has multiple endings. The attention to detail in this game is impeccable and every interaction you have feels meaningful. Never do you feel like a conversation you have or backtracking you make through a level feels like padding. You can tell that they took their time and squeezed out every cent of the budget that they put into this game. The production value rivals that of big budget movies. The writing and the voice acting and the gameplay all kind of melds together to make this unforgettable experience that is definitely worth all the time you're going to put into it. You can easily sink 8 hours into this game in one sitting and not think anything about it. Metal Gear Solid is like the Mazda Miata of video games. You're gonna jump into it, you're not gonna be going very fast, you're gonna be taking your time, building up, going through the gears. It's gonna take you forever to get to that on-ramp on the highway, but you're gonna enjoy every second of it because it's gonna be so damn fun and it's gonna feel so refreshing to be able to sit in front of a game for hours, enjoying the story, not having to worry about DLC and microtransactions and when it's going to end, or if you're gonna need to pick up the season pass to continue it, or when the next title's gonna come out, because you're gonna be able to jump right into the next game, no problems. Let me put it to you this way. Metal Gear Solid was such a damn good game, they completely remastered it from the ground up on the GameCube. They redid every single gameplay element, all the visuals, they recasted the entire group of people to re-record all of those lines. When you play through this game, you're going to see how much of an undertaking that actually was. I still need to pick that game up, but it's very expensive. What I'm saying is that this is a game that deserves your time, that rewards you for the more time you spend in it, that has way too many Easter eggs to count in your first, second, third playthrough. This game isn't going to be your Call of Duty, your dirty little quick fix, your battle royale game that you just jump into for 5 minutes. You're going to spend a lot of time in it. And you're going to want to spend a lot of time in it. And if this game isn't something that interests you, why are you still watching this video? Why are you still watching this video at all? But if you are still watching this video, allow me to shamelessly plug my Patreon you can visit if you want to directly support more videos like this. Follow my Twitter and leave me a tweet or a comment telling me if you enjoyed this type of video, and if you'd like to see more, tell me what you would like to see me cover. But with all things being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off so you have more time to get into something you would want to do, like playing this game. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys again, but if not, bye.
Metal Gear Solid, I kill him on camera. I'm in the opera, I'm in the Phantom. Used to be ugly, but now I'm real handsome. Grant you a wish if you rub on my love. Metal Gear Solid, I kill him on camera.